What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm here to give you guys my final wish list for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So, the last trailer kind of blew everybody's minds away, mind's blown. The trailer last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was at this point, and now we are 3 weeks away, just 3 weeks away from the final release of the game. So I wanted to get out my final wish list for this game, and we've kind of seen a lot at this point, and I think a lot of this wish list we've kind of seen a little bit of, or like hints at, but regardless, I'm still gonna make this video because I want to make sure everybody knows, you know, what I want to see the most coming into this game. So the first and foremost thing for me is going to be I want more enemy variety. I think that for me was the biggest issue in Tears of the Kingdom, and sometimes the biggest issue in Zelda games in general, or a issue in some Zelda games. Some it's not really an issue at all, but I definitely think it was the biggest issue in Breath of the Wild for me, and so I would definitely love to see. This is hilarious, by the way, with this video and Zora's Domain. But yeah, I would love to see some greater enemy variety. I believe that we've already seen, we've seen Redeads at this point. We've seen all the constructs and the different types of constructs. We've seen an addition of the boss Bokoblin to the Bokoblin Moblin family. We've seen the dragons that fly around the Bokoblins. So definitely we've seen a good amount of that at this point, but I hope they've kept a few more hidden away. Like maybe we'll find Gibdos in the what I believe is a dungeon, and in the desert area, or Gibdos really anywhere. Maybe some other new enemies, like we saw the little mud dragon monster. So yeah, I think that I would just love to see even more enemies that we haven't seen in trailers appear in the game. Because yeah, I think enemy variety is great, and I definitely think Breath of the Wild needed a lot more of it. So that is the first thing I want to see, and the thing I might want to see the most, obviously, dungeons got to be on the list. I don't have to talk too much about it because it's pretty unanimous that people want dungeons the most. So yeah, I don't have to talk about it too much more than that, I think. I would love to see dungeons. Dungeons are one of the best parts of the classic Zelda games, 3D and 2D. So I think it would be a huge boon to the game to have them in there. So we have enemy variety, we have dungeons. Now, the next thing that I want to see would be all right, I had to sneeze real quick, but the next thing I would want to see would be just like greater variation in some of the RPG elements, and by that I mean like I feel like they could add more special effects to a lot of the weapons, because some of the weapons have like durability up or slight attack up things, but I think that they could add some more variation to that, like sneak attack up, just some stuff like that. I think would go a long way. And then to even further that, just enhancing the combat in general will be really huge for the game, because as much as I do like the combat in Breath of the Wild, it's still far from perfect or really anywhere close, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement. So I think the first thing I would like to see is them remove the ability to eat food from your remove the ability to just pause the game and eat food in mid combat. So I think there's several things that they could do instead of that. They could just set it so where even if you can still pause the game, you'll have a much more limited amount of food slots. Like maybe you only have 10 or something like that. It'll make the game. I think it'll make the combat a lot harder, but you can still make pretty OP foods to help mitigate that. Another thing would just make you eat it in real time, like while you're fighting, because you know, and it wouldn't have to be a super long thing. You'd only need it to be like at a second or two type of thing to really make the combat a little bit more intriguing, I think. So yeah, I would say just find a way to make the way to recover hearts a little bit more elegant than pausing the game and just like, you know, just tanking through. So next, what I would like to see is more variation in how the weapons work. So what I mean by that is and I don't think this is actually going to happen, but I would like to see how the spears work, how the swords work, how the two-handed weapons work. I would like to see that change slightly, maybe give them a few more moves or something, you know, more animations, things like that, I think would be really interesting. Obviously, I'm not expecting them to give us a full Souls-like moveset with R1s, R2s, or whatever, but I think it would be pretty interesting just to see that freshened up just a little bit. And most of this stuff has been gameplay focused, so I guess to give you a story focus, I have seen the idea floated around that despite all the cool stuff we've seen story-wise, that it could still be memories. And to be honest with you, that would be pretty terrible. I would really hate that. So I really hope we're experiencing the game in real time as it goes. You know, so I hope that we do see the opening, because I even saw like the opening cutscene type of thing, or what people presume to be the opening cutscene, where we go find Ganon's body with Zelda. I've even seen that floated around that might not we might not see that at the beginning of the game. We might just start in the sky and it might be memories again. And oh boy, would I hate that. And I actually highly doubt that they would do that. Also, to be clear, I don't think that they're going to do that. So, but I figured it'd be worth mentioning here. Another thing that I want to say, because I'm kind of rambling at this point, although that's the whole point of the video. This is the ramble time. Is that I want to see some cool bosses. Obviously, all the bosses besides like Calamity Ganon's first form and Breath of the Wild, at least for like, you know, story bosses, they were terrible. They were ass even. So yeah, that's what I want to see. Anyways, that's all I got. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, subscribe for more.